Today, still over 80% of the ocean remains unexplored. And at the heart of that unexplored abyss lies the most extreme, most hostile environment on Earth, the Mariana Trench. This is the countdown of 15 supersonic creatures found in the Mariana Trench that you might not have heard of before. Let's begin the descent. Number 15, the Hatchetfish. We begin our journey into the mesopelagic or twilight zone, where the light of the sun is reduced to a faint, ghostly blue haze. It is here that we find the Hatchetfish, a perfect specimen of biological paranoia. The Hatchetfish is not the largest creature, measuring only a few inches, but its adaptation is flawless and terrifyingly simple. It is named for its distinctive, compressed, hatchet-like shape, but its survival mechanism is far more advanced than its appearance suggests. Its eyes are permanently pointed upwards, maximizing the tiny sliver of light filtering from above, allowing it to spot the shadows of prey above it. However, the light-filled eyes create a silhouette, a fatal flaw in the open ocean. So, the Hatchetfish evolved to eliminate its own shadow. Its entire underside is covered in bioluminescent organs called photophores. This process is known as counterlumination. The fish can precisely adjust the intensity and color of the blue light emitted from its belly to exactly match the ambient light filtering from the surface. In the twilight zone, this makes the Hatchetfish virtually invisible from below. It is a living stealth fighter, a biological cloaking device perfected over millions of years. This level of precise, self-adjusting light camouflage is a terrifying testament to evolutionary pressure. The Hatchetfish is a master of camouflage. But if a fish can use light to disappear, what happens when a worm uses bioluminescence as a weapon? Our next creature literally drops bombs to escape. Number 14, the green bomber worm. In 2009, a remotely operated vehicle was filming in the blackness of the midnight zone, nearly 9,000 feet down, when segmented worms suddenly started dropping small, glowing green orbs. The reaction from scientists was immediate. They had discovered a creature with an active, targeted defense mechanism unlike anything ever seen. The green bomber worm, a species of deep-sea annelid, measures just a few inches but has the combat strategy of a battleship. When threatened, it detaches modified gill parts, tiny, balloon-like sacs, from its body. These sacs or bombs are filled with fluid that flashes a brilliant, shocking green bioluminescence when ejected. The flash serves as a perfect distraction. The predator's eyes are momentarily blinded or drawn to the glowing orb, allowing the worm to swim backward, escaping into the darkness. This tactic of jettisoning a glowing body part is a high-stakes, high-reward strategy. It is not just camouflage, it is active, targeted biowarfare in the eternal night. This discovery proves that the deep is home to advanced defense mechanisms that blur the line between biology and science fiction. If simple worms have evolved such complex weaponry, what kind of massive, specialized trap has a stationary creature developed to catch its prey? Our next entry is an anatomical paradox, a creature with a massive mouth mounted on a stalk. Number 13, the predatory tunicate. Most tunicates, or sea squirts, are filter feeders. They passively strain plankton from the water. The predatory tunicate, however, is a biological outlier, a creature that adapted the anatomy of a feeder into the mechanism of a deadly trap. This bizarre animal is stalked to the seafloor, resembling a 5-inch wide carnivorous Venus flytrap. Its body is dominated by a massive, gaping mouth that functions as a sophisticated air trigger net. The tunicate waits patiently, its mouth wide open, until a tasty, minuscule marine creature, often a small crustacean, swims inside. With blinding speed, the mouth snaps shut, sealing the victim inside. Once the meal is consumed, the tunicate slowly resets the trap, opening its mouth to wait for the next victim. This strategy allows it to capture prey that is swimming actively above the sea floor, giving it a massive advantage over passive filter feeders. Despite its simple, almost plant-like appearance, scientists classify the predatory tunicate as a distant family member of humans, as both belong to the phylum Chordata. This demonstrates that even the simplest life forms in the deep have evolved into highly specialized, stationary assassins. The tunicate is a sedentary assassin. But what if a massive predator uses its own body as a gigantic living net? Our next entry is a verified ocean ghost, a massive, ethereal creature almost entirely made of water and terror. Number 12, the giant phantom jellyfish. For over a century, the giant phantom jellyfish was a creature known only from rumor and preserved fragments. Too large, too delicate, too enormous to exist in the deep. It was a biological whisper among scientists. But in 2021, the whispers became reality. A remotely operated vehicle descended to 3,200 feet off the California coast and captured something that moved with hypnotic, terrifying grace. The giant phantom jellyfish stretched nearly 33 feet from its translucent bell to the tips of its four ribbon-like oral arms. The bell itself is a meter across, a massive, pulsing dome of tissue, so thin you can see straight through it. Its four oral arms, which look like massive, pale ribbons, are not just for movement. They are a sophisticated, 30-foot-long biological net. This colossal organism passively drifts, using its sheer, overwhelming size and sticky appendages to ensnare any fish or crustacean that brushes against them. It is perfectly adapted for efficiency and stealth. Its translucent form the ultimate camouflage in the perpetual darkness of the twilight zone. The rarity of sightings, only a few hundred total documented encounters in over a century, only reinforces its spectral nature. It is a living ghost story now verified and documented, proving that massive ethereal life forms patrol the ocean's twilight zone. If life can be a colossal, passive net, what if a creature evolves to be an aggressive, biting trap that attacks from the deep floor? Our next monster is a slimy, primordial horror that was lost to science for 140 years. Number 11. The deep sea acorn worm. In 1873, the crew of the HMS Challenger dredged an unknown species of worm from 3.5 miles below the ocean surface. For the next 140 years, the specimen was never seen again. It was a scientific phantom, known only from that single, fragmented recovery. The acorn worm, a hemichordate, not a true worm, is a slimy, fragile organism that crawls along the deep sea floor, leaving telltale, sinuous trails of sediment. Unlike muscular, shallow water worms, the deep sea species is extremely delicate, tending to disintegrate when brought up in nets, explaining why it was lost for so long. Its rediscovery was only possible with submersibles that could delicately pluck the creature from the bottom. The acorn worm feeds on particles of food in the mud, acting as a critical recycler on the abyssal plane. They range in color from a pale white to a vibrant pink. This creature, a living fossil, represents the vast, uncatalogued biodiversity of the deep, where species can vanish from scientific record for centuries despite being actively alive. The fact that a known species could remain unseen for so long is terrifying proof of the scale of the unexplored abyss. The acorn worm is a master of the abyssal mud. But what if a creature evolved to build its entire life around withstanding the maximum possible pressure? Our next fish is a ghostly, delicate titan that holds the record for the deepest dwelling fish ever captured. Number 10. The Mariana snailfish. At depths exceeding 26,000 feet, over 5 miles down, the pressure is so immense that most cellular structures should collapse. Yet the Mariana snailfish not only survives but thrives, holding the verified record for the deepest fish ever captured. This fish is a delicate miracle of biochemistry. It is translucent with no scales, and its bones are extremely soft and gelatinous. If you brought it to the surface, it would instantly turn to a puddle of jelly. Its survival mechanism is a sophisticated chemical solution. Its cells are protected by high concentrations of trimethylamine N-oxide, TMAO, a compound that stabilizes its proteins against the crushing forces of the deep. Without TMAO, the water pressure would force the water molecules out of its proteins, causing them to fold incorrectly and the fish to instantly disintegrate. The snailfish is an apex predator of its pressure zone, feeding on the small crustaceans and amphipods that live even deeper. It is found in limited zones, congregating in large schools, having evolved a structural design that is perfectly liquid and flexible to withstand the sheer force of its home. It is living proof that life, when pushed to the absolute chemical limit, finds a way to become even more resilient. The snailfish is perfectly adapted to the crushing pressure. But what if a creature evolved to look like a giant, flying, headless piece of poultry? Our next entry is the most bizarrely named creature on this list. Number 9. The deep sea chicken monster. Sometimes the deep sea reveals something so bizarre that scientists and the public have to give it a nickname, and the headless chicken monster is one of the best. This creature is a swimming sea cucumber, a pinkish-red, plump, and rotund organism that, due to its texture and shape, resembles a basted, headless chicken drifting in the current. This bizarre sea cucumber lives at depths of around 9,800 feet But unlike most of its relatives, which are slow-moving bottom feeders, this one is built for locomotion. It possesses large, webbed fins that allow it to actively swim upward and away from predators or to land briefly to feed. This gives it a massive advantage, allowing it to move to new feeding grounds. The deep-sea chicken monster's color, a dark reddish-brown to crimson, is another adaptation. In the deep, red light is the first wavelength to be absorbed by water, making red objects appear black. This effectively cloaks the creature from predators. Its unique plump body and swimming ability are a powerful rebuttal to the idea that sea cucumbers are limited to the seafloor, proving that mobility and camouflage are universal keys to survival, even for the most unexpected organisms. The deep-sea chicken monster uses bizarre locomotion, but our next creature is an ambush predator that uses a lure of pure bioluminescence to draw its prey directly into its massive, needle-filled mouth. Number 8. The Black Sea Devil. This creature is the embodiment of the deep-sea nightmare. The Black Sea Devil, a species of anglerfish, is so terrifying that the footage captured by the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute, MARI, instantly became one of the most famous deep-sea clips of all time. The female Black Sea Devil is a small, terrifying machine, measuring only a few inches, with a massive, gaping mouth and long, needle-sharp teeth that lock prey into place. Her entire existence is centered on a single, horrifying tool, the Esca, a bioluminescent lure that dangles from a modified dorsal fin spine right above her head. In the total blackness of the midnight zone, the female keeps her body still and waits. The lure emits a soft, pulsing light, drawing in curious prey, small fish or crustaceans, directly into the zone of death. The light is the last thing the victim ever sees. Even more bizarre is the creature's reproductive strategy. The male anglerfish is tiny, ill-equipped for feeding, and exists solely to mate. Once he finds a female, he bites into her belly and latches on. His body then chemically fuses with hers, becoming a permanent, parasitic sperm source. This grotesque fusion ensures that the female always has a mate, a profound adaptation to the extreme scarcity of partners in the vast, dark ocean. The anglerfish uses a light lure to draw its prey. But what if a creature uses its entire body, a colossal living web of arms, to blanket the water column and trap its victims? Our next monster is a colossal, walking spider from the deep. Number 7. The Basket Star. The basket star is an echinoderm related to starfish, but its appearance is anything but familiar. It is a creature that transforms its body into a complex, intricate, and deadly web. Found primarily in the deep sea, the basket star possesses 5 main arms extending from a central disc. Each of these 5 arms repeatedly branches into thousands of smaller, unbelievably flexible tendrils, creating a dense, mesh-like formation that can span up to 2 feet across. During the day, they hide in crevices, but at night, they climb to an elevated position, often on a sponge or a coral, and extend their massive, twisting arms perpendicularly to the current. They essentially cast a massive, living net into the open water. The arms are covered with tiny, sharp hooks that instantly ensnare small crustaceans, jellyfish, and other minor animals that are swept into the deadly lattice. It is a terrifying, passive hunting strategy where the hunter becomes a static, living trap. Their circulatory system is as alien as their body. Like other echinoderms, they lack blood, obtaining gas through a unique water vascular system. This creature perfectly demonstrates how the deep sea incentivizes static, expansive, and high-coverage hunting methods. The web is cast, and the deep delivers the prey. The basket star is a web of muscle and bone, but our next monster is a ribbon of pure, silvery muscle, the living embodiment of the sea serpent myth. Number 6. The giant oarfish. For centuries, sailors whispered tales of massive, shimmering sea serpents. Today, we know they were describing the giant oarfish, the longest bony fish in the world, reaching confirmed lengths of up to 56 feet. This fish is a colossal ribbon of silver, topped with a dramatic scarlet crest that runs along its head and back. It lives at depths between 600 and 3,300 feet, swimming in a near-vertical posture, undulating its long dorsal fin like a giant, silvery ribbon, a movement that would perfectly mimic a sea serpent rising from the waves, just as the ancient mariners described. The verifiable proof of its existence often comes when they wash ashore. Because they are deep-sea creatures, any sighting near the surface usually means they are sick, dying, or have been violently propelled toward the coast by seismic activity. Coastal cultures have long associated the oarfish with impending disaster, specifically earthquakes, a folklore directly linked to their rare, dramatic appearances after deep-sea disturbances. The famous 18-foot specimen that washed up on a California beach in 2013, requiring over 15 people to move, silenced every skeptic. The presence of this massive, sinuous creature, now verified and documented, proves that the monsters of legend were merely accurate descriptions of a stunning biological reality. Its existence is the ultimate crossover between folklore and verifiable marine biology. The oarfish is the ultimate sea serpent. But what if a creature evolved structure so fundamentally bizarre that it looks less like a fish and more like an armored, primitive lizard? Our next monster is a verified living fossil with 300 backward-facing teeth. Number 5. The frilled shark. Meet the frilled shark, a living relic with an evolutionary history stretching back 80 million years. It is a creature so primitive that its appearance is closer to a monstrous, snapping serpent than a modern shark. It is a verified time capsule of terror. The frilled shark is identifiable by its long, dark, eel-like body and 6 pairs of distinctive, crimson, frilly gills that pass across its throat. It is the primitive design of its jaw and teeth that makes it truly terrifying. It possesses nearly 300 teeth, arranged in 25 rows. Crucially, each tooth is backward-facing and trident-shaped. This ensures that once prey, often swallowed whole, is caught, the hundreds of hooks guarantee there is no escape. The combination of its serpent-like body and its highly flexible jaws allows it to attack prey with a rapid, striking lunge, giving it an ambush mechanism perfected over geological epochs. Footage captured by Japanese researchers in 2007 showing the creature alive, and subsequent captures in deep-sea trawls off Portugal confirmed its existence and its frantic, aggressive movements. This snake-like predator lives in the water column between 1,500 and 4,000 feet, using its dark color as camouflage. The frilled shark is the verifiable proof that some of the most ancient, aggressive forms of terror still patrol our oceans. The frilled shark is an aggressive hunter. But what if a creature evolves one massive eye to look up and one small eye to look down, creating a terrifying, asymmetrical predator? Our next monster is a master of visual asymmetry. Number 4. The cockeyed squid. The deep sea forces unique evolutionary paths, and no creature embodies this quite like the cockeyed squid or Histiotuthis. It is a master of visual asymmetry, having one eye of normal size and the other extraordinarily large and green. This is not a birth defect, it is a profound, calculated adaptation. The smaller eye is evolved for looking downwards, watching the dark depths for predators. Conversely, the massive, larger eye is designed to look upwards, detecting the extremely faint shadows of potential prey silhouetted against the weak light filtering from the surface. The larger eye often contains a blue, light-absorbing fluorescent pigment, maximizing its ability to detect contrast in the dim light. This unique visual configuration allows the squid to simultaneously scan both the dim, low-light environment below and the ultra-low-light environment above, optimizing its perception for hunting and defense. Furthermore, the squid often maintains a semi-upright posture, using its asymmetrical eyes to perceive light in both dim and bright surroundings with maximum efficiency. This squid is a phenomenal example of how the challenges of the deep, specifically the limited directional light, can force a creature to fundamentally break biological symmetry to survive. The cockeyed squid uses its asymmetry for vision. But what if a creature evolves its entire structure to be a single, gigantic, passive net stretching 60 feet across the water column? Our next creature is an anatomical paradox that defies all logic in its proportions. Number 3. The Big Fin Squid. If you need verifiable proof that the deep ocean is home to life from another planet, look no further than the Big Fin Squid. Its structure is so profoundly bizarre that it immediately breaks the mold of what a cephalopod should look like. The Big Fin is a creature of terrifying stillness and colossal scale. Its arms and tentacles are impossibly long and thin, extending often 20 times the length of its main body or mantle. This means a big fin with a 3-foot mantle can have appendages stretching over 60 feet. But the true, unsettling horror is its posture. The big fin hangs motionless in the water, thousands of meters down. Its ultra-thin arms feature distinct right-angle elbows where the arms bend and then hang down in a massive, basket-like net that drags far below the creature. The arms are lined with microscopic suckers and held stiffly, acting as gigantic, sensory fishing lines. This passive posture allows it to snag any small, unfortunate organism that drifts into its colossal, nearly invisible net. The footage retrieved from deep-sea missions and Shell oil rig cameras in the Gulf of Mexico confirmed its existence and its bizarre locomotion. When spotted, the big fin often holds the same position for hours, slowly drifting with the currents. This structural anomaly, a creature built entirely around disproportionate length, is definitive proof that the deep sea operates by its own set of physics and biological rules. The Big Fin Squid is a structural anomaly. But if a squid can reach 60 feet in length, what happens when a shark grows to the same terrifying scale? Our penultimate discovery is the ultimate nightmare that revived the myth of the Megalodon. Number 2. The 60-foot mysterious shark. This discovery, based on verifiable footage, did not confirm the existence of a new species, but it absolutely revived the darkest speculation in marine biology, that the long-extinct Megalodon might still rule the abyss. In 2013, the Japanese marine biologist recorded footage that shook the scientific world. The clip, captured by a bait cage placed nearly a mile down in the Mariana Trench, showed a colossal, indistinct shape approaching the cage. The creature was immense. Experts estimated the length of the indistinct body to be between 40 and 60 feet, the size of a freight train, and 3 times longer than the world's largest recorded great white shark. The footage shows a brief moment where the creature's massive, terrifying white eyes are visible before the camera jolts violently. The sheer scale and power of the animal, swimming in the crushing blackness where food is scarce, led to immediate speculation that this was not a known species. The Megalodon, the biggest shark and largest fish to ever exist, was believed to have died out 2.6 million years ago. Its jaw span was estimated to be 20 feet wide enough to swallow 2 adult people side by side. The presence of a creature of that magnitude in the deep waters of the Mariana Trench, an area notoriously difficult to reach and monitor, fueled the dark theory that a small, deep-dwelling population of megalodons could have survived the extinction event. The footage, while inconclusive in terms of species identification, is irrefutable evidence of a gigantic, massive apex predator living a mile down in the trench. Is the greatest unknown still actively hunting in the abyss? The 60-foot shadow is the ultimate predator, but we save the ultimate discovery for last. This creature is not a squid or a shark. It is an entire, thriving, organized alien civilization built on poison and geothermal heat, a place where life should be chemically impossible. Number 1. The Hadal Trench communities. The single most surprising discovery in the Mariana Trench is not a creature, but the undeniable fact that entire, complex, thriving civilizations exist in the deepest, most hostile environments on Earth. For decades, the Hadal Zone, the trenches below 20,000 feet, was assumed to be a barren wasteland. The core rule of life was simple. Ecosystems require the energy of the sun, photosynthesis. This assumption was proven fundamentally wrong. In 2024, advanced submersibles, including the Fendu, captured verified footage in the deepest Hadal trenches of the Western Pacific, plunging to a staggering 31,000 feet. The cameras revealed not scattered life, but a dense, packed, highly organized alien metropolis. This ecosystem is powered not by light, but by chemosynthesis. Microbes draw energy from toxic hydrogen sulfide and methane, seeping through geothermal fissures in the Earth's crust, literally thriving off poison and volcanic heat. The footage is astonishing. Huge clusters of white tube worms, some nearly 5 feet tall, tangled together in vertical forests. Around them, beds of pale, spiky invertebrates and mollusks crowd the seafloor. The sheer volume of biomass, the density of colossal organisms crammed into these small vents, is a scientific revelation. The organisms possess unique proteins and enzymes, stabilized by compounds like TMAO, that allow their cell walls to remain functional under pressure that would instantly crush and destroy surface life. This discovery is the ultimate neuro-optimized jolt. It proves that life is infinitely more adaptable than we ever imagined. The deep-sea trenches are not dead. They are not empty. They are full of teeming, complex, colossal life, powered by fire and chemical reactions, forming permanent, thriving communities that are completely independent of the surface world. The age of discovery is not over. It has only just begun. Let me know in comments what your thoughts